Hey everyone, welcome back. Now, a couple days ago, showed off these three kits here NASCAR no for the NASCAR November theme. So, pretty much with these, got these three out, and finally have the time now that figured do the video. Pretty much go over them video each each kit all in one video. So pretty much going to take a couple minutes to look at the truck, trailer, and the car. So this is going to be a multi-part series, I suppose. So, going to be building up each kit individually in their own sections. But of course, it's going to be like casual updates here and there. So, with that, going to be pretty much going to have it where, yeah, so everything's going to be shown. So, pretty much a parts overview is going to be shown in this video, whereas individual segments, like for example, say the Chevy Lumina kit here. So, this is going to be focused on its own. We're just going to split this into multiple parts, focusing on truck, trailer, and car on separate videos. But how I see it, it makes more sense just to do all three kits at once, so I can have everything divided and sorted out properly. So then, when I get around to actually building stuff, I can just do quick updates here and there. So, if anything, I'll get stuff put to the side and opened up, and yeah, I'll show you what's inside these kits. So starting off here, we have Kodak, of course, Kodak film Chevy Lumina, which at the time was driven by Ernie Irvin. So here's a quick overview of the box. Copyright 1990, along with the other kits. Of course, got real life pictures of the actual car, showing it in action, along with chassis detail, engine, and interior, which of course, for a race car like this, fairly basic. And then of course side view and then plus specifications. Pretty much giving all the specs here about the car, everything you need to know. So, opening it up, you're introduced to the chrome tree here, which is fairly basic and not a lot of parts to it. But the parts you do get with it are, you do get a jack stand, or yeah, floor jack to go with it. Then you got your four steelies, which are chrome, but as seen for the car, it's supposed to be black. So these are going to have to get painted up in black. Then you got valve covers, which on here it says with Monroso embossed onto it. Not exactly the easiest to see, but the details are there. And then you got your two-piece shifter in with the shifter with the shift boot, and then shift boots half molded separately. Then of course got the air filter and mirror. So that's what you get with that. Then this was already bagged by the previous owner of the kit, so got the window pieces, which do have nicely molded and support rails on the inside. So that's looking all good. Good to know that's all in good shape. Here's some more clear parts for what looks to be like cooling for the driver. And then metal axle. Then you got the body and chassis here, which haven't built any of these before. So interesting to see that these kits have an opening trunk, which is a feature I wasn't expecting, as Monogram and Revell kits don't have that kind of detail. But here's your fairly basic Lumina body. Then of course the chassis, which is pretty universal between all these between different variations of kits. So let's just put that over top. Put that to the side for now. Then got the big parts trees, which are all still molded in gray. So you got parts here like the upper control arms, some frame supports, trunk lid, hood, rear bumper, and what appears to be the spoiler. Let's see, flip this around. Actually, looking at it might actually be the diffuser, but we'll see what it is when I start putting the car together. Then got more parts for the roll cage and chassis reinforcements. Got the fuel cell tank with fuel line coming out, fire extinguisher, and steering rack here. More roll bar pieces. Then you got the racing seat, which is all molded in one piece. And then, weirdly enough, there's some molding. There's some possibly pigment residue from different coloring. So I'm sure painting that up, that'll end up fading out. Got more pieces, like here's a loose wheel back. Then got the side impact bars for the passenger side, and then for the driver side with driver net. Then you got your firewall, another backings. Then you got the radiator front and backs with the shroud covering. Looks fairly nice. Then you have more suspension parts plus the engine, which pretty much looks like your basic engine you get in your every other car kit. Though the fact that this one's a race engine makes it quite different, even though it may not look it. Then got your exhaust headers here, which curve around quite nicely and do look quite nice and could be used for quite a few other things, I'd imagine. Then got your rear differential halves, pedal assembly, a shock tower, steering wheel struts, brake discs, and a couple other odds and ends on here. Nothing too much. And then we got the rest of the car parts, like here, got the wheel backings. And then we have a fuel canister, which is in two halves to put together. Be another thing for the accessories. Then got the front brakes, wheel pins, and steering knuckles, which these here actually look quite similar to the 72 Corvette I built quite a while ago now. So those look familiar, but do know those will go together quite nicely. So there's pretty much the quick look on the car itself. Oh, and before I finish off, a couple things I almost forgot about. Do have a complete set of these 4 Goodyear radials, or not radials, the Pro Stock Specials. A little bit hard to tell with the lighting what it all says, but it's got some good lettering on it, nice raised texture, and then on the back it's just smooth-sided. So if anything, the backings will have to be carved out. And then finally got the nice bright decal sheet, which looks like to be in really good condition. So yeah, so these here definitely look like they're gonna be good to use. Then of course got here the instructions featuring the car itself. Quick overview about it. Giving a couple tips and tricks on how to build the car. And of course these are the old style manuals with the fold out pages. So in the cool thing that I do see here is the fact the kit's for the kit for the kit, it does give you a full diagram of Ernie Irvan's performance during the 1990-1991 season. So let's hear pretty much going from the 1990 season, going from February all the way to November, showing all the races that he participated at, plus the winnings. So there's quite a few cool and interesting things here and there. So looks like a fairly straightforward kit. So definitely going to be looking forward to that. Get everything here put away, and going to be going on to the next kit. So next kit going to be looking at here is the Kenworth T600. Now, much larger box on this one. Similarly with the race car already, does give you quite a bit of specifications, saying how conventional cab styling, Cummins NTA 370 turbocharged diesel, Spicer main transmission, auxiliary transmission, aerodynamic sleeper with bunk cabinets, storage areas, CB radio, and then exterior features along with Aerodyne sleeper roof, cab to sleeper fairings, sunroof full length chassis fairings, opening doors on sleeper, which I'm assuming is referring to these. So if those are opening parts, that's going to be really cool, as typically with most other truck kits you have to do everything yourself. So of course not too much else to show. Does show here on the back the turbocharged engine, hitch receiver. So these are the opening doors by the looks of it. So it must include, so it's probably got separate molded doors with hinges. Then by the looks of it, a fairly detailed interior, even though that's very minimal. Driver section, and then your standard 10 lug with the 10-hole wheels. And of course with this kit there was also the T600 Kappa, which had a different sleeper cab unit onto it and different wheels to give it more aerodynamic appeal. So getting into this, couple things I noticed right away. So got a fairly decent sized decal sheet with blue stripes, and then with other decals here for the Ertl company as kind of a promotional thing, plus inspection tags. And what's quite cool I find is that this kit here's actually got 2 instruction booklets. So there's going to be a lot to do on this, I'd imagine. So sheet 1 of 2, 2 of 2, which is really nice to have both of them. So by the looks of it, it's going to be a fairly modular assembly. So a little bit of a sneak preview on everything on that. Then typical assembly that you'd find on pretty much any other truck kit, whether it's Revell, AMT, Italeri, etc. So there's those. Then getting into the parts, see here the parts, instead of being molded in gray, they're in white this time. So first sprue tree here is pretty much actually looks like it's wheel, looks like it's wheel coverings, which is odd enough. So I guess it's parts from the Kappa version. So that's unique. Then you got what I'm assuming the headlight buckets. Then got the pulley belt system, radiator, and radiator shroud. Got the nice mirrors, which, of course, for something like this, being painted in black, makes sense. They're just basic plastic. Then a piece of siding, which at this moment not sure what that's for, but it's there. And then cab visor on top. So cool parts on that. And then got the fairings for the trucks, for the truck sides with molded in steps. Very good, fairly decent amount of detail on it. Plus indents for where the steps would go, both driver and passenger side. Got your sleeper bed with pull-out drawers. And so yeah, the doors are molded separately, so which is a really nice touch. And then some more rear cab fairings. And here's a mix of stuff. Like we got suspension leaf springs, the air intake box, plus overhead storage units for the inside of the sleeper. Then you got sleeper backing wall, and then the actual firewall for the truck itself. So quite a variation in parts. Then getting to the end of this bag, got a few less pieces, like got the wall with the walkway through to the cab to the sleeper unit. Got the exhaust, then the wraparound front bumper, which is looking pretty good. Then you got the sidewalls for the sleeper, which looking at how there'd be separate handle molding right here, and then the actual door to insert inside to open up both sides as well. Then you got the interior tub. It's got some nice kind of grainy texture, so that if you want to have a carpeted or plastic interior, you can do just that. Then a couple parts, like you got the sleeper roof with the skylights, and then you got the closed top sleeper, depending on how it gets built. And then this part here, which not sure what it's supposed to be for, but it's there. Then by the looks of it, tank, I'm guessing brackets for the fuel tank. So quite a few stuff there. Then this next bag right here got a couple goodies here and there. By the looks of it, potentially a radiator support. Then two different drive shafts. Then of course cross members for the frame, which is nice. Even though this is going to be a multi-piece chassis, I'm thinking that this will hopefully go together nicely. Then you got your battery pack, battery tray and cover, steering box, pitman arms, and some more, for probably some cooling lines right here. So it's looking to be quite a bunch of good stuff already. Then got the frame rails, which are a bit warped coming towards the end, but I'm fairly certain that when I get this put together and it's all glued together, it'll end up straightening itself out. Otherwise, I'm going to be using a couple techniques to get that straightened out, sit flat. A few tubing lines, and then look what looks like a cover for the engine. Fairly large parts tree with not a lot of pieces to it. So, and similarly to that, got steering column along with what seems to be the transmission. Yeah, transmission with auxiliary transmission setup. Which by the looks of it, so with those two drive shafts, it's going to be engine, transmission, miniature drive shaft, transmission, auxiliary, and then another drive shaft. And then you got the two axles connected with another drive shaft in the middle. So I have 3 drive shafts on one truck. So then now moving on to the main body, got the cab and the hood of the truck, which there's quite a bit of flash on it. But if anything, that'll just clean up like nothing. This is probably gonna be one of the fairly more modern trucks I'm gonna be working on. Haven't really done anything past the 90s in terms, well, technically more the 80s. So so this is gonna be quite a different adventure in terms of trucks, as a lot of the other trucks that end up getting built are pretty much from the 60s and 70s. So having some new stuff is an interesting mix into the bundle. So got some wheels here along with the axle hubs. Then wheel backings right here. Then got the 3-post steering wheel. Got the small little miniature jump seat. Then there's the CB radio for the truck. Couple pieces here and there. Probably some other supports for something. So, looking good so far. Not really seeing anything major that'll be a problem. So, yeah, so there's the third drive shaft that I was talking about earlier. So that's going to be different, as typically it's just engine, transmission, drive shaft, then it goes to the first differential, followed by another axle, or another drive shaft to the rear axle. So, there's that. And of course, the 2 seats, driver's seat and a passenger seat. So I guess that jump seat's going to be one that's actually going to mount into the middle section of everything. And here we've got a fairly large clear tree, showing with the windshield, driver and passenger window, auxiliary lights, and then sunroof, side windows, and then the sleeper sunroof windows. So a fair amount of goodies. And here I actually got three chrome trees, which usually in most kits you only get at most 2. So it's either going to be a case of keeping a lot of these chrome pieces chromed out, or strip stuff so that you can at least glue everything together. got these chrome, what I'm guessing is hubcaps, and then wheel rings, front wheels, hubcap, or the hub ends, and then the inner wheels along with the inner wheel rings. So if anything being chrome, I do think those are going to be a likelihood of cracking, so going to be really careful with those. Which, by seeing how there's a bunch of emptiness to it, I'm assuming that that tree part's been used for other kits in the past, or was probably designed to use for other kits, but don't really know much where this kit would have gone, as there really wasn't much else on it from what I've seen. Then you got these like the grill for the hood, headlight buckets, side steps, shift linkages. But what I'm thinking here is the transmission or the drive shaft linkage. Couple either steps or spotlights, and then here's some door handles, molded in some nice chrome. If anything, I'll probably just end up cleaning those up, as those look like they're going to be really nice to put together. And then moving on to the final chrome tree of the kit. Got some more ends, which think about now might actually be for the fuel tank. Got some air tanks here. The turbo. Some more, couple things here and there. Chrome radiator fan. Some side step. Actually, these here might actually be the pedals, which are fairly nicely sized. Got fenders. Big oil pan, which that's going to have to get painted the color of the truck, as far as I'm aware, most rigs don't have the chrome oil pans, or at least I wouldn't think they have. And then got your fifth wheel bracket support, and then Kenworth badging right here, which might be a little bit hard to tell with the light, but that's that. So that's pretty much that for all the sprue. And a few other things here, like the blueprinter guide that you could have signed up for back in the day. Got some hose line, which I'm going to see on the instructions on how this actually gets put on, or what it's exactly used for. Then got a couple things like here's one of the axles. Okay, I think okay, yeah, here's the other one. So there's going to be wheel pins on the front, and then these axles, the metal axles for the rear, which is going to be really nice. Plus, got all 10 of these, got the 10 of the tires, which pretty much look like your fairly pretty modern Goodyear tires that you get on pretty much any other truck kit. So that's good. And then few small things here and there is like the orange lights, and then red marker lights, which you pretty much get in every kit. So that's pretty much everything for the truck. So I'm going to get everything all put away and sorted, so then can finally go on to the last item in this bundle. Now wrapping up the third and final kit for this bundle. Got the Kodak Film Race Team Transporter trailer. So this one here is fairly densely packed, to be honest, really. It feels like it's got some good weight to it. And then, of course, gives you specifications with cabinets, built-in workbenches, tire rack, storage cabinet, tool chest with rollers, 10-piece drill press, vise, air wrench, fire extinguisher, air tank, overhead lighting, gas tank, folding car ramps, which is cool to drive the car up and down from, which from what I've seen with other race trailers is for the entire length. There's typically ramps above so that the team can have 2 cars inside. So in this case, there have one car would be, say, the Lumina, and then the other one would be the Oldsmobile. That would be part of the Kodak race team. So, chrome pieces, Canepa design wheel covers, over 135 parts, which is quite a lot for a trailer kit, as usually most of them have about 60 parts at most. Full color team graphic details for transport and trailer. Of course, the tractor's not included, but I do have that one there. And then gives you a quick rundown of the use for the trailer. And here's a couple pictures of the trailer when fully built, like the rear, the ramps folded in, folded out ramps, stairway, all the tools that go inside it. Then there's the drill press, tool cabinets, all this goody stuff. Which I have a feeling that's gonna be great for anyone who does detailing. This definitely a great kit for customizing, as there's definitely a lot of potential to be had. Let's see here, what's good. I'll just put the top lid of the box here to the side for now. So, starting out first, we got the instructions here, which are your standard black and whites. Full rundown of the description and everything you need to know about kit building. Then, of course, 1-page fold-out booklet. Which does show a fair good amount of detail to the entire thing. Plus got place to store, plus storage and different areas to put the tools. And assembly for everything. Then on the back here, on one of the final pages, it gives how to detail the truck up. So if anything, that'll look good. Plus, if anything, see what decals there are and see which ones go on the truck. So that's gonna look really nice, having matching truck and trailer. So starting off here, we have the entire sheet of the upper roof, which by the looks of it just ends up getting cut off a sprue piece during the factory process. So the sides here will have to get trimmed, so not too big of a deal, honestly. Then on the other side, fairly minimal in terms of detail work. Then you got the sidewalls here, which got the molded in brackets, which these are going to be cut out. But, of course, they're going to be cut out later on. On the exterior, got nice corrugated texture. And of course, to give this kit here, I believe would be about, when fully built, I'm guessing it probably about 2.5, 3 feet long at probably more, honestly. Though I don't really have an accurate measuring device with me at the moment. So just keep that in mind for a bit. And then got the right hand side, which actually looking at it, that's quite clever. Have one side labeled L for left and then R for the right side, which is pretty cool. And of course got the tabs here where the door is going to mount onto with the hinges. Then got the frame, overall, the frame length. It's a little bit, of course, being all one piece plastic, it's rather flimsy, so getting everything glued together would be a bit of a priority to strengthen everything up. But at least but I'm sure it'll straighten itself out once parts get put together. Then got the tires here, which are your fairly standard narrow trailer tires. Nothing too much to mention about those, as pretty much standard tires. Then a basic chrome tree, which, get into this, got here your wheel backings. Then what I'm thinking, it might be some no, actually these are the air tanks for the trailers. Then got hubcaps, what I'm guessing maybe a spotlight. Not entirely sure what these might be part of, but those are there. Then got a bag here full of more goodies. Now here's the overhead lighting, which you got the fluorescent lights, which are pretty accurately detailed. And of course, here's the 10th one that's broken off from the tree, so not a big deal. Couple other parts like a string, which I'm assuming is for a ramp mechanism, which is unique. And of course, you got brake lights, marker lights, etc. Pretty much your standard stuff you get on pretty much any other trailer kit. Then got three axles here, which two I'm guessing is for the axle or for the wheel axles, and then another one's going to be for the ramp mechanism, unless ends up being something different. So I'll put these back in so they don't get scuffed up, which I quite like. Which is honestly a good idea to have everything, like your clear parts and your tires, bagged up so they don't end up melting themselves into each other and wrecking the parts. Aside from the race car, trying to find parts for either of these kits, I'd imagine would be fairly difficult to do. So, going on here, we got back doors for the trailer with latches. But I'm guessing bracket supports, rear tail panel for the lower half of the trailer with the embossed panel so that tail light lenses can go in. And then trailer back wall, which does have some writing on it, which here it says trailer mobile. And then some more writing right here, which I'm not sure if that's going to be able to be picked up. Can't exactly tell what it says, but there's some writing there. Getting on to some more other bag stuff. Got a couple more brackets for something. And this tree here is quite a bit warped. So got the mud flaps for the trailer mobile. Then of course you got your siding. And then side doors, underside plating. More then I'm guessing these are going to be the rail bracket or the door hinge brackets that can keep the door in place. A couple other odds and ends. I got some more stuff for the frame. Got the wheels themselves, which are the split rim pieces with wheel backs. Then you got the frame pieces, frame parts, all that stuff there. Hey everyone, welcome back. Now this here is a bit of a follow-up update. Originally I did have a full video uploaded, but apparently the video got corrupted trying to upload. So figured just do a quick overview of what's going on. Now this was about a month ago, no, about a week ago actually, that the update video was supposed to go out. So, anywho, pretty much for November, pretty much working on the idea of doing NASCAR stuff, which in this case, see here, these three kits here. The plan here is going to be doing all three kits up together, so we can have a Kodak film race team to haul the Ernie Irvin Chevy Lumina race car. So I originally did have the entire video for these three kits already done. Then that's when I found out the update video never did upload. So here I am doing a quick update on everything. Anything too, I do also am still working on the Ford Aeromax and LTL kit bash, which those will still be getting their own video here and there. But primary focus will be these for now. So there's pretty much that. Did have a couple other things that I wanted to mention, but probably gonna be holding off on a bunch of things for until December hits. So yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update here and there. So yeah, so that'll pretty much be it for this video. Bit of a short, quick one. So I will likely have an update parts overview for these three kits here this weekend. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.